All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into how AI is basically taking what we thought was science fiction and making it medical fact. Seriously, we're talking about everything from creating new life to saving it in the most extreme environments you can possibly imagine. The future of medicine, well, it's happening right now. So let's take a look at what that future looks like.
I want to kick things off with a question that sounds like it's straight out of a movie. But what if I told you that this isn't just a thought experiment? That it's a question engineers and scientists are working to answer as we speak? Just hold that thought for a minute, because to really understand the promise here, we first have to get a handle on the huge problems we're facing today.
Just look at this number, 5 million. That's how many people die from drug-resistant infections every single year. It's basically a silent pandemic. So you see, while we're asking these incredible questions about the future of creating life, we're also in this desperate race to preserve it against threats that are evolving way faster than we are. And AI? Well, it's stepping in on both fronts.
And that brings us to our first major idea here, how AI is getting involved at the most fundamental levels of biology. We're talking about the very beginning of life and the fight against our oldest, deadliest enemies. You know, this really shows an incredible contrast. On one side, you have AI helping to develop artificial wombs, and on the other, it's designing brand new antibiotics to kill superbugs. This just perfectly illustrates the massive scope of AI's impact. Let's start with the creating life side of things.
So get this. This technology is being developed right now by a startup called Kaiwa Technology. They're literally building a humanoid robot that has an artificial womb inside it, and the whole point is to gestate a baby from a fertilized egg all the way to birth.
Now, this didn't just come out of thin air. The whole idea has been building for a while. Back in 2017, scientists had this breakthrough where they used something called a biobag to keep premature lambs alive and developing. So now, Kaiwa Technology is taking that concept to a whole new level, and they're expecting to have a working prototype by 2026. That is, just around the corner.
And here's the part that makes this feel less like some distant fantasy and more like something that's about to become very, very real: the price. The first projection is around $14,000. That's a price point that could make this technology accessible way faster than any of us might imagine. So that's the bleeding edge of creating life. Now, let's pivot and look at the other side of that coin, using AI to save lives, from one of the biggest challenges in all of medicine.
Okay, the scale of what happened here is just staggering. Researchers at MIT used generative AI to sift through over 36 million different compounds. They were hunting for new weapons against nasty superbugs like MRSA. And the AI didn't just find stuff we already knew about, it actually helped design completely new molecules that attack bacteria in ways we've never even seen before. This opens up a whole new front in the war on drug resistance.
Okay, so we've seen these massive, world-changing projects, but what about right now? How is AI showing up in, your local clinic? Let's take a look at the rise of the AI doctor's assistant. All across the globe, AI is getting woven into the fabric of daily healthcare. In Dubai, it's being used to help with clinical decisions. At Google's DeepMind, it's helping out with diagnosis. And at companies like Athena Health, it's being used to automate the whole system. Let's dig into that DeepMind example for a second.
They've built this tool called Gammy. It can actually listen to a conversation between a doctor and a patient and then draft up notes, suggest possible diagnoses, and even write patient messages. But, and this is absolutely the crucial part, the final call, the actual diagnosis, is always left to a human doctor. The AI is the co-pilot, not the pilot.
And this quote just captures the whole strategy perfectly. The goal isn't to replace doctors, it's to augment them. For you, this could mean your doctor actually spends more time looking at you instead of their computer screen. It's all about using AI to improve the quality of care and free up the doctor's time while keeping a human firmly in the loop to keep patients safe.
And this isn't just happening in a few fancy research labs. Athena Health is rolling out AI features across its entire platform, which is used by over 150,000 healthcare providers. That means this kind of AI automation can reach even small local doctors' offices, changing how healthcare is delivered on a massive scale.
So, all of this incredible new power brings up some big new questions. How do we regulate it? How do we make sure it's safe? And just how far can we push it? This brings us to our next section: new rules, new frontiers. You know, it's a classic saying for a reason. As AI gets more and more capable, the potential for it to be misused or for it to cause unintended harm grows right along with it. And governments are starting to take notice. Let's look at a real-world example. In Illinois, lawmakers had to act after they got reports of these unregulated AI therapy bots giving seriously dangerous advice. I mean, in one shocking case, an AI actually suggested meth use to someone role-playing as an addict. So the state passed a new law that makes it illegal for an AI to provide therapy without the direct oversight of a licensed human professional. It's one of the first major guardrails for these tools on Earth.
So, what happens when the rules of Earth don't apply anymore? To figure that out, let's look to the ultimate frontier. I want you to just think for a second. Who is the most isolated, most remote patient you can possibly imagine?
The answer just might be an astronaut. Think about it. On a mission to Mars, you are literally millions of miles from the nearest hospital. That is precisely why NASA and Google are working together on a project called CMO-. It's an AI health co-pilot, and its whole job is to help diagnose and treat astronauts in the extreme isolation of deep space.
Okay, so we've gone from artificial wombs to superbugs, from the local doctor's office all the way to deep space. So what does all this really mean for you, for all of us? The big takeaway is this. These technologies are doing way more than just changing medicine. They are changing our relationship with life, with death, and with what it even means to be healthy. This is a fundamental shift in the human experience.
So, as we've seen, AI is pushing the boundaries across the entire healthcare landscape. It's working at the molecular level to invent new drugs, it's in the exam room helping your doctor, and it's even in deep space protecting our astronauts. The impact is both incredibly broad and, at the same time, deeply personal.
And that leaves us with this one final critical thought. The technology is here, and it is advancing at a breathtaking pace. It's offering solutions to some of our oldest and biggest challenges. The technology itself isn't the question anymore. The real question for all of us now is, who gets to write the rules for this brave new world? Thanks for watching.